Class, since we are done with our Philippine history, then this time let's talk about the political side of our country. If you still remember that our country became an independent state in 1946. So what is a state? A state is defined as a politically organized body of people with a territory, with a government, and entirely free from external control. So our country in 1946, it was the time that our country was recognized by international community as a state, not only a nation, not only a country, but politically speaking, it becomes a state, which it means that it is free from external control. So when a country or a nation be recognized as a state, then it must possess the basic elements. Number one, people. So people constitute the state. That's why the definition says that there should be community of persons. So we, the Filipinos, we constitute the Philippine state. Second is territory. So every state should have its own territory. That's why, class, some of the reason of why there is war because of territorial disputes. So each state should have its territorial boundary, subject to its jurisdiction, defense, control, and so on. So territory. So for us, we have the Philippine archipelago as our territory. Third, there should be government because this government is the agency of the state that will carry or it carries its will and to serve the people of the state. And number four is sovereignty. So talking about sovereignty, it is the supreme legal authority of the state that will make the state independent and continue to exist. That's why our president, no, with regards to Obama's okay, issues, okay, when the President Duterte became the president of our country, then the president says, Obama, back off. Okay. No, so when Obama made a statement, no, as far as our country and our President Duterte's administration. Okay. So talking about sovereignty as the fourth essential element of the state, the word sovereignty, as what I have mentioned, it means supreme and final legal authority above and beyond which no legal power exists. Okay, so that's why, class, talking about itong issue ng ICC, which of course our country, the administration of Duterte, says that of course we have to withdraw. And of course, as far as ICC is concerned, whatever law, as long as our own state has its own law and functional, then the law of the state is superior. The decision of the state is superior, being what? Being an independent sovereign. Okay. Now, talking about sovereignty, there are two aspects of sovereignty. Internal sovereignty and external sovereignty. When we talk about internal sovereignty, it means that the state is supreme over all citizens and association within the state. That's why there are laws to be followed. The state, through government, okay, enact laws for what? Peace and order, control, and even to include punishments. And the external sovereignty, which it means the state is independent, free from foreign or outside control. So even China, America, Russia, or any other countries, they cannot control nor interfere, okay, the decision of the state, even international or United Nations. Okay? If it is in conflict of our law, and again, our own judiciary, our country is functioning well, then that's it. So free from external intervention. So the state can carry on its own objective goals and its own laws. So what are the characteristics of sovereignty? Number one, it is absolute. See, it is recognized, even international law and international community. So the law of the state, the decision of the state, as long as sumang-ayon po ito sa constitution natin, then it is absolute. And sovereignty of the state, which is, again, politically, it is the highest, the supreme legal authority of the state, it is permanent. So it cannot be taken. And it is indivisible. What is that? It cannot be divided. So isang nation, okay, isang law. So that's why we have our own constitution, one constitution, all over the country. Then it is exclusive. Ito class, exclusiveness. Okay, so yung constitution natin, para sa Pilipinas yun. It cannot be imposed in foreign countries. Just like the laws of foreign countries or their own constitution, it cannot be implemented in our country. And it is also inalienable. Yan po yung characteristics of sovereignty. And of course, to add more, comprehensive. So comprehensive, it means that for the entire country, mula Luzon to Holosolo, to Tawi-Tawi, and to all citizens. And even non-citizens, as long as they are here in the country, then they have to follow our own law, okay, or constitution. Now, what are the three inherent powers of the state so that the state can continue to exist, can serve the people best, and maintain its peace and order and development? So, there are three. Number one, police power. So it is the power to enact laws. So that's why the state, with the government, it will enact laws. So that's why we have so many laws known as Republic Act or statutes. Okay? And this law or laws are enacted or were enacted for the promotion of public safety and order, public health, public morals, education, and general welfare. That's why. What happened to Marawi? Siege. So, under the police power of the president declares martial law in Mindanao. Then, what happened in 2020 until now? We experienced the so-called COVID-19 pandemic. So, for the general welfare of the Filipinos, then the government, through the office of the president, okay, declares what? Lockdown or enhanced community quarantine, ECQ. Okay, so that's the purpose of police power. Then, the next one is the power of taxation. So, it is an inherent class. Even there will be no laws on taxation, but the state can collect taxes. Why? Because it is the lifeblood of the nation, especially of the government. Why lifeblood? Because it will be the one or this power where the government will impose taxation, collect taxes to raise revenue, to defray the cost of the government or governmental expenditures. So paano na ang government pag walang pera? So kailangan itong power of taxation. So it's the power of the government to tax. And who will be taxed? Of course, we, the citizens of the country, business, and all other transactions. So there is that taxation. Then the third is the power of eminent domain. It is the power to take private property for public use, for public purpose, upon payment of just compensation. So it means to say, class, that if and when the government needs a property or a land where the government will establish schools, hospitals, and so on and so forth, as long as it is for public use, then the government may take private property. But of course, the government will what? Pay that property. Next, let's have government. So what is government? So government, it is an organization that people set up to protect the community and enforce rules. Government, of course, it is an agency that carries the will of the state and the will of the people. What's the role of the government? So the government is established in order to protect the lives of the people, us, especially citizens of this country, even to include non-citizens as long as they are in the state. Then protect also our liberties, freedom. And of course, the property, our property. That's why there are laws provided by our government. And of course, government also provides services to the people, especially to the poor ones. And of course, the government are given power and authority to enforce the law for, again, purpose of peace and order in our community, to avoid chaos in our society. So here comes the 6 purposes of the government. Okay, form a more perfect union to link the states together. So kailangan i-link lahat yung mga probinsya natin. At the same time, it is also the government that will ensure na mayroon tayong link, okay, or foreign relations with other states. Okay. Then, establish justice. Of course, it should be fair, reasonable, and impartial law. Then, ensure domestic tranquility. So ensure again peace and order. Equality to all. Then, provide for the common defense. Okay, to defend the country from whatever external aggression and of course domestic threat like CPP, NPA, or any insurgency, terrorism, and so on and so forth. Then promote the general welfare. So to protect the life, liberty, property of all the citizens of the country. And of course, to secure the blessings of freedom. Okay. As also provided in our Constitution. Now, what are the functions of the government? So basically and politically class, there are two functions of the government: the constituent functions and the ministrant functions. So talking about the constituent functions, these are the it constitutes, okay, the very bond of the society. It is the principal, primary, and it is compulsory in nature. Like what? Maintaining peace and order, economic development, okay, general welfare, justice, social services, and so on. So constituent functions. And the ministrant functions, these are the secondary, but still it is important. Why? Because it is defined as functions that will advance the interest of the people, such as public works, public education, and other public services. Okay, no? So, ministrant. Why it is ministrant? Or otherwise known as optional, because it needs more funds. But if the government has what? More funds, then this constituent and the ministrant will be provided by the government. So now to continue with, let's have the types of government. Okay, so what are the different types of government? Of course, we have so-called government ruled by one person. Okay, and that is monarchy. Or it could be dictatorship. Monarchy, if there is monarch like king, queen. Dictatorship, of course, not necessarily king, queen, pharaoh, emperor, or whatsoever. But the type of leadership is single, ruled by one person. Then we have the government ruled by few, like aristocracy or oligarchy. Okay, no? So ito yung ruled by few. Then, of course, a government ruled by the people, many people, that the power of the government resides in the people, like our government. So that's what we call democracy. And talking about anarchy class, of course, it is ruled by none. Okay, so it's composed of different groups fighting, okay, to each other, okay, and proclaim that they are the most powerful in that particular place. Okay. But in our case, then we have what? Democracy. So these are what? The types of government. Now, forms of government, of course, as to the different type. So as far as monarchy is concerned, then there is what we call limited monarchy, like England right now or United Kingdom. Why limited monarchy? Of course, the head of the state is Queen Elizabeth, but the government is headed by Prime Minister. But when you talk about absolute monarchy, so it was common before that it's only the king, pharaoh, emperor, okay, yung or sultan, okay, ruled the state. So absolute monarchy. No other officers, unlike limited monarchy. Dictatorship, it is an absolute ruled by one person, but not a monarch, meaning not a king, nor a queen, nor emperor, nor a pharaoh. Okay, so that's dictatorship. That's like Hitler in Germany before. Okay, so yan, pure, no? So dictatorship. Then, of course, aristocracy. So these are what? A government ruled by privilege or upper class. Okay. So in Middle Ages, it happens like Italy, okay? Caesars, the Romans, okay? But right now, no longer exist itong aristocracy. Okay. Then of course, as far as the division of powers of the government, okay, then there is what we call unitary system. Okay, so like our country, we are a unitary system. Okay? It is having a centralized government, or the powers of the government, okay, vested in one central government. Okay, so meaning to say that the existence of the local government is under the supervision of the national government. So the bulk of the decision will be in the national government. So that's our government in the Philippines. Okay? So concentrated in central government. Okay? Then of course, when we talk about federation or federal government, okay? So this federal government is a government where the national and local share equal power. Okay, so there is decentralization of government power. So it means that the local government is independent from the national government. And that's, of course, United States of America. That's a very good example. United States of America. And of course, the Confederation also used in United States of America. So the common of this is unitary and federal. Okay. Next, the parliamentary versus presidential. Okay. So this is another type of government as to the relationship between the three branches of the government: legislative, executive, and judiciary. So in parliamentary, having a parliamentary system, it is a system of government where there is fusion of powers. That's right, joining of powers. And what is that? Fusion of powers between the executive and the legislative. So in this parliamentary, the executive department is dependent in the legislative department, which otherwise known as the parliament. So since there is fusion of powers or joining of powers in parliamentary, the people will elect members of the parliament, and the members of the parliament will elect prime minister. Ang prime minister will be the one to preside the parliament, will participate in the making of laws, programs, and decisions of the government. Then after it is approved by the parliament, then the prime minister, as the head of the government, will be the one to execute. So the prime minister is a member of the parliament as its presiding officer, and at the same time, the prime minister is the chief executive. So that's why there is fusion of powers. So that's in parliamentary system. While in presidential, like our country, which is presidential, then there is separation of powers. What is this separation of powers? So it is clear that the powers of the three branches are distributed equally. So therefore, these three branches of the government are independent from each other. They are also co-equal, so no superior and no inferior in this three branches. Okay. And as far as the government is concerned, the chief executive is the president, and the head of the government is the president. And the Congress, which is the legislative branch, is separated from the executive. So that's as far as the presidential system. And the president is elected by the people. Unlike in parliamentary, the prime minister will be elected by the parliament. So that's the difference between these two. Okay. And of course, we have also the idea of the legitimacy of the government. So de jure and de facto. So when we talk about de jure, okay, it is a government established in accordance with the Constitution or law. Okay, like for example, Duterte's administration, that's a de jure government. A de facto government, it is a government in defiance of the existing government. So a good example was actually the government of Korea, because the government then, it was Marcos who was elected. But because of People Power Revolution, then there was another government out of that government, okay, of Marcos, which it was established after the election. Okay, no? So therefore, de facto is in defiance of the law, but as long as it has the support of the people, that's why yung Cory Aquino administration was, recognized as legitimate. So yan po. Okay. Before talking about constitution, I will give you more idea about democracy. Since our country is a democratic country, okay, why it is called the government of the people? Because of the word itself, class, demos kratos. Demos, it means people. Kratos, it means to rule. So therefore, who will rule in a democratic country? Then it is the people. So that's why, class, our government in the Philippines should what? Listen to the voice and the will of the people. Government powers in our country resides and emanates from the people. So that's democracy. Okay. So now let us continue with the Constitution. What is Constitution? To tell you, class, I think I already mentioned it to you in our previous discussion that our country is also a constitutional country. Meaning to say that we have a fundamental law that guides our country and its political activities. Okay, so what is Constitution? Constitution is a set of law or principles. It is written. It could be unwritten, but it is good if it is written, in which the country is governed. So Constitution is a written law that guides what the government will do, shall pursue, and so on and so forth. So it is characterized as the king of all laws. So talking about the Constitution, it is recognized as fundamental law of the state. So for us, if you want to know our country, if you want to know our government, then refer it to the 1987 Constitution. As far as our country is concerned, because we have our own constitution, which it is recognized as a body of rules which regulates the system of our government in the Philippines. So, Constitution, fundamental law, basic law that regulates the system of the government. So what's the purpose and functions of the Constitution? Number one, it defines the limits of government powers. Okay? So, alam natin, government is powerful. But as far as the powers of the government, of course, yung isinabi or isinulat sa Constitution with limitations. And of course, Constitution lists the rights of the people. That's why, class, in our Constitution, we have the Bill of Rights. Then, of course, the Constitution establish the permanent structure of the government. Here, class, okay, I want you to know that if and when the government will change its system, like what happened to the proposed federal, so once there is a proposed federalism or parliamentary, then the first thing that the government will do is to what? Amend or revise the Constitution. Because no changes in the government can be imposed or implemented without amending the Constitution. Because the Constitution established the structure of the government, and it is permanent unless revised. And it also provides the rules and operation and procedures for the government. That's why our Constitution provides Article 2 as the declaration of principles and policies that the government shall follow, pursue, impose, and so on. So, as what I have mentioned, Constitution serves as supreme law of the land and fundamental law of the land as well. Now, what are the classifications of the Constitution? So as to origin, there are two. One is conventional or enacted, and the other one is cumulative or evolved. So what is conventional? It means that this is a constitution enacted by a constituent assembly. So that's why there is what we call constitutional convention. Just like our 1935 Constitution, 1943 Constitution, 1973 Constitution, and 1987 Constitution. Even the Malolos Constitution, there was constitutional convention. Then the other one is cumulative or evolved, which a product of growth and development, such as customs, traditions, judicial decisions. So it is basically historical development and practices of the nation. So cumulative or evolved. Now, as to form, written and unwritten. So you say written, it is the constitution where all the provisions are reduced into writing, of which there is a book called Constitution, like our Constitution. So therefore, when it is conventional, then it is also written. And if it is cumulative, then it is unwritten because it is a product of political evolution. And again, customs, judicial decisions. Okay? So that's what we call unwritten constitution. Then, as to the manner of amending them, so there is what we call rigid or inelastic, and the other one is flexible or elastic. So as far as a written conventional constitution, then it is a rigid constitution, like our constitution in the Philippines. It is not flexible nor elastic. If it is cumulative, it is unwritten, so somehow it is flexible or elastic. So, as what I have mentioned, our constitution in the Philippines, it is classified as conventional or enacted, it is written, and it is rigid class. And it is drafted by, again, the so-called Constitutional Convention or Constitutional Commission. So therefore, how to revise that constitution, our constitution? Then it should be in conventional or CONCON or CONAS, Constituent Assembly. Okay. But of course, people can also initiate, okay, in revising the constitution, propose by the people. That's what we call people's initiative. But still, it must be discussed by the Congress and approved for them by the Congress. Now, what are the requisites of a good written constitution? Since our constitution in the Philippines is a good written constitution, so what are the requisites? So it must be brief, broad, and definite. Okay. So, say brief, it outlines the structure of the government, its powers and functions. It is broad because it must be comprehensive as far as the functions of the government, the limitations of the powers of the government, and the relationship of the different departments of the government. And it is definite, easy, exact, in order to have what? A clear interpretation and application of the provision of the Constitution itself. Then, as to content, ano bang kailangan itagdan sa Constitution? Then the Constitution should have the following. Constitution of the government. Again, it deals with the framework of the government, the powers of the government, the rights, okay, of the people as to suffrage or election. Then, of course, the Constitution of liberty. Okay, so from the word itself, liberty, and it provides provisions, the fundamental rights of the people. That's why we have, again, the Bill of Rights, human rights, and all other rights, civil rights, political rights, economic rights, and so on. So, Constitution of liberty. And Constitution of sovereignty. Ito yung tanong class. Which is superior? Republic Act or Constitution? Then, it is the Constitution. Constitution is superior than Republic Act. That's why, as far as its amendments is concerned or revision, then it must be provided in the Constitution itself. So, therefore, to amend the Constitution, it is not that easy. That's why it is rigid, unlike Republic Act or statute. It can be changed anytime by Congress or in the local legislative body. So, next topic natin, class, will be the Philippine Constitution. So, hanggang dyan lang po tayo and wait for the next or see you in the next virtual discussion natin or video discussion of the Philippine Constitution. Thank you.